We got some major breaking news as it has just been announced that Alex Bowman is going to turn this weekend for the Coca-Cola 600. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to the video. As I just said a second ago, it has been officially announced that Alex Bowman is going to return this weekend at Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. According to a report that Hendrick Motorsports has just released, Alex Bowman, driver of the 48 Alley Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 for Hendrick Motorsports, will return to the NASCAR Cup Series competition this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway after recovering from a fractured vertebrae. Bowman, 30, suffered a compression fracture April 25th while competing in a sprint car at 34 Raceway in West Burlington, Iowa. On Tuesday, he drove a Cup Series car 170 laps during NASCAR-approved medical evaluation tests at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Prior to the injury, Bowman led the Cup Series in average finish through the first 10 races of 2023. After missing 3 points-paying events, the Tucson, Arizona native ranked 17th in playoff standings, just 5 points behind the transfer spot with 13 races remaining in the regular season. It came out, as Rick Hendrick says, it's a boost for all of us to have Alex return to the number 48 car this weekend at our own racetrack, said Rick Hendrick, owner of Hendrick Motorsports. He's still 17th in points, which says a lot about how well the team performed at the start of the year. Alex had worked hard to rehab the injury and come back strong, and I look for him to continue having a championship caliber season. Josh Berry subbed for Alex Bowman in all 3 points events with the best result 10th at Dover Motor Speedway on April 30th. He also competed in Sunday's non-points All-Star race at North Wilkesboro, finishing 15th after winning the All-Star Open. Barry, 32, drives full-time at Hendrick Motorsports affiliate Junior Motorsports in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Josh is an absolute pro since Jeff Andrews, president and general manager of Hendrick Motorsports. His talent and hard work allowed the team to continue operating at a high level while Alex recovered. We can't say enough about the great job he did under some challenging circumstances. We're grateful to Josh and our partners at Junior Motorsports for their support. Bowman remains eligible for the 2023 playoffs after NASCAR has officially granted a medical waiver. This is absolutely really huge news. As I just announced, Bowman is officially back in the NASCAR Cup Series. And as I just said a second ago as well, Alex Bowman currently is only 5 points below the cutoff line. So he's definitely going to have a really good opportunity and a shot to make the playoffs. But I'm also, as a fan of Alex Bowman, I'm very happy. I will have a question, though, and one question I do have is, will they have a standby driver ready? Because while Alex Bowman has publicly said that he's been recovered from that injury, how will injury affect his performance? I still think the 48 team is definitely a really strong organization, and they are still a team that can easily win the championship this year. And I think they still can make the playoffs this year. The question, like I said, is going to be, how will his performance be on the racetrack with the injury he did suffer? That's going to be the key thing. I would imagine that Hendrick Motorsports, though, is going to have Josh Berry on standby ready to go just in case it does end up getting pushed back. If he does end up getting hurt and he does get injured in the Coke 600, they might have Josh Berry there just in case on standby. But as an Alex Bowman fan, I'm extremely happy to see that he is officially returning this weekend. It's been kind of unfortunate not to have him at the racetrack. When you have the best drivers in the field you can have, the sport ends up being in a better place. And Bowman's had an up and down start to 2023. They did mention he had the best average finish of the first 10 races, and he absolutely did. Bowman had been extremely consistent and had been running up front and was a driver who a lot of people are looking at as a championship contender. While not being as strong as his teammates Kyle Larson and William Byron, who've been the 2 strongest drivers, I think, this season all around the Cup Series, Bowman's still been one of the more consistent drivers. And if you look at Josh Berry, they'll talk about him. Josh Berry, I think, did an incredible job for this team. Obviously, Josh Berry is likely going to be headed to Stewart-Haas Racing in the 2024 season, replacing Kevin Harvick next year, as Kevin Harvick will retire at the end of the season. Josh Berry likely replacing him. I still think he did a good job for Alex Bowman. And I think a lot of people were happy with Josh Berry's performance. But when we think about Alex Bowman, it's really good to see that he's going to be back behind the wheel. It's been a couple weeks. It's good to see he's going to be back. And I'm really happy to see that he's coming back behind the wheel of the NASCAR Cup Series number 48 car. Like I said, the question is going to be, how well is he going to perform, and will he have to have a driver ready to go in substitution? Because back injuries can be permanent. And this is the second year that Bowman's had an injury. Remember, Alex Bowman last year suffered a concussion-like symptoms and basically missed almost the end of the season. I think he came back at Phoenix at the end of the year, but missed almost the end of the season and basically did have to sit out a lot of it because of concussion-like symptoms. So I don't want all this stuff compounding on him. And again, I didn't want them to rush him back, but they did say it would be a 3 or 4 week timetable, and they did say that there was a really good chance and possibility that this was going to end up happening, where we were going to see a return of Alex Bowman 3 to 4 weeks. Bob Pockets had reported on it. There was a likely chance that this was going to happen. Again, a lot of people goes initial interest like, oh, he's not going to come back. Well, he's officially coming back. I was expecting this. I was expecting he was going to come back, because if he didn't come back, things were going to compound, and he was going to be in a much more difficult position, especially if how many points were going to be available this week. With it being available, how many points were potentially going to be there, it was going to hurt Hendrick Motorsports and Alex Bowman in a major way. So I'm really happy that things are good on the front, and I'm glad to see that Alex Bowman is officially going to be back this week, and I think he'll do, I hope he can do a really good job this week. I think the goal for Alex Bowman is to just get settled in. He's not far below the cutoff line. I think that he can finish top 15 or top 20. That's a goal, I think, for him. He doesn't really have to push it as hard. I don't want to see him pushing as hard. He doesn't have as many points to make up like Chase Elliott did, and Chase Elliott's made up a ton of points. He's only 63 points below the cutoff line currently at the moment right now. I think Alex Bowman has a chance. I think he's still going to make the playoffs. I don't see it really being an issue. He may lose some points this week. I'd imagine, especially if him being still recovering a little bit, I'd imagine Bowman's probably going to have a little bit of a lackluster performance, but it's nothing new. We don't want him to struggle. We don't want him to push it as hard. And the question will be, will it compound a little bit? Will we see some of him hurt a little bit after the jack drops? He did say that could be an issue being interviewed by the media at Darlington. But nonetheless, as a fan of Alex Bowman, I'm still very happy that he's officially coming back to the sport this week. I hope he can do really good, put on a great performance. I want him to be a driver that could go out there and win. I still think he can win this year. He's been really fast. Blake Harris has done a fantastic job as a crew chief for that team this year. And nonetheless, like I said, I'm just really happy and really glad to see that Alex Bowman is coming back this week. I think he's going to do eventually really good. I think right now it's going to take some time for him, to kind of recover a little bit in the car. And I know he'll have the standby driver ready to go, that being Josh Berry. But nonetheless, I think a lot of fans of Alex Bowman's are generally really happy, really pumped he's coming back, and excited to see that Alex Bowman is officially returning this weekend. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's returning, and I hope he can do a really good job representing the 48 team. Maybe like Chase Elliott, we get an effect of the ratings going up. That'd be really cool to see. But nonetheless, I'm very happy and glad to see that Alex Bowman is officially coming back this weekend at the Coke 600. So that is going to be for today's NASCAR news and motorsports news video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support my Patreon as well. Links description below with that, and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. How excited are you to see Alex Bowman return this weekend for the Coke 600? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Not too far down the road, about an hour from now, there is going to be another NASCAR news video on the channel discussing news over the last couple days. Then tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have race picks for the Coca-Cola 600. And then on Friday, we are going to have the Truck Series race review and also NASCAR news video on the channel as well in the morning. Then on Saturday, there's going to be potentially be a news video dropping or something along those lines, and the Xfinity Series race if the weather is able to hold off. And then on Sunday, if the weather is able to survive, we will have the Coke 600 race review and the Indy 500 race review out on the channel. Should be really fun and really exciting. The biggest day in motorsports of the year is coming up. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's special report, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.